with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, we've reached the halfway point here in this syndicated radio broadcast, Wednesday, the 27th day of January 2010. Hard to believe that the first month of 2010 is almost over. I was rereading 1984 yesterday on air, where O'Brien is torturing Winston, and he says the party lives on forever. All that matters is that we succeed. And, of course, he'd been a communist and learned how they operated, and he wrote the essay saying this is what I really believe communism is going to do. And he also discovered that big financial interests were supporting it. That's why Eric Blair, pen name George Orwell, was so amazing. Okay, we got 4 minutes left with James Dillingpole, and he's here with us. Specifically, we have wounded the snake, as you quoted Shakespeare.
We've caught the snake but not killed it, yeah.
Yes, so their next battle plan, Gordon Brown has said they're just going to circumvent it, get wealthy nations to go ahead and put the money into the UN, and damn what the people want.
Yeah, well, I mean, my great hope for America was that your Senate was going to kill cap and trade. But, you know, Obama's going to get around that one by using the EPA. The EPA has decided to classify carbon dioxide as a poison. So it doesn't matter what the Senate thinks about it. You know, this is exactly the kind of liberal fascism that was practiced by FDR. And Obama's using the same old tricks. I find that increasingly in America, as in Europe, the individual has very little control over what big government does to his life.
Big government is becoming tyrannous. It is doing whatever it wants. So what do we do ahead of the next big event they're going to have in Mexico?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Copenhagen was a flop. What we're going to see in Mexico in November is all the world leaders and all the eco-loons gathering together to try and really push for some hard legislation. But, of course, that means that we've got 8 months in which to present the case further for more and more people, like the listeners of your show, the readers of my blogs and so on, to discover just what a fraud this is. And I don't reckon that people are going to stand it. You know, already we've seen in Australia, the leader of the Australian Liberal Party got kicked out of his job for trying to push cap and trade because the voters didn't like it. And I think we're going to see more and more of this, of people reacting against this scam and saying enough is enough. We will not be taxed. We will not be regulated in the name of a problem, man, bear, pig, that was invented by Al Gore.
But man, bear, pig is real. It's half man, half bear, half pig.
Yeah.
Pachari says he's got a peer-reviewed report that he won't give us the data on that man, bear, pigs are endangered.
Yeah, I think the time has come to kill man, bear, pig, to scotch and kill man, bear, pig.
Well, then it would be an extinct species, like the unicorn.
Yes, and then we have to feel very sad about it and blame ourselves like we did with the dodo.
So ahead of what's happening in Mexico, we just need to continue, because it was the activists, the bloggers that pushed and ran the blockade of the media blackout that first week or two on ClimateGate. We've got to run the blockade with all these news scandals.
Yeah, none of this would have happened. These arguments would not be being heard were it not for the blogosphere and the radio shows like yours. You know, the MSM has been completely against us. You know, the whole system has been against us, trying to cover this scam up.
I got to throw this in quick. Cass Sunstein, the regulation czar, in public policy papers says it should be illegal to criticize man-made global warming. I don't know if you saw that. And separately, Europe's been saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, they would rather silence us using whatever means at their disposal. And this is why, our freedom of speech on the internet is more important to guard jealously than ever before, because our lives and our freedoms depend upon it. That is no exaggeration.
JamesDillingPole.com is the website. James, always great having you on. I know we'll speak again. Have a great evening.
Take care.
Goodbye. Speaking of internet censorship, Australia, Italy, they're all announcing Chinese-style censorship. That's coming up, too. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
One major world crisis away from having a totalitarian type of system.
The main event is the wholesale destruction of the world economy.
The push for every nation on the globe to identify and number all of its citizens.
Friends, I hope that you will order Shadow Government from Infowars.com. We also have some specials where you can get some of our other films half price when you order Shadow Government. A new level in production quality and in information. It exposes how a cashless society, surveillance beast grid of total control is being put into place. This film needs to be seen. Everybody needs to get it. So order yours today. Show it to your friends, your family, your church, your neighbors, your boss, your employees. Shadow Government, ladies and gentlemen. Get your copy at Infowars.com today. Shadow Government. It gives Big Brother a black eye. Available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Hello, this is Alex Jones with some important questions. If you're going into a battle and they give you a rifle and a sidearm, how much ammunition do you want? My answer would be all I can get. In the battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your only ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it? Now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Can you buy it without proper identification? Will there be any food? Will it make your children sick? If there's a quarantine and you can't feed yourself, will you go to the gathering center and be immunized? You wipe out all these problems if you have a good food supply. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Oliver Stone tells the truth about the U.S. and British government funding Hitler, but he doesn't want to talk about how they funded the communists. Carroll Quigley at Georgetown, writing for the Globalists in Tragedy and Hope, admitted that he was allowed into their secret files and that they have financed it all, as long as it's authoritarian and centralized. The right wing uses fake terror. The left also uses it, but the right wing uses fake terror, fake wars. The liberals do too, in the fake paradigm. But the real honey at the heart of the New World Order is fake environmentalism. And they're taking over all the towns, all the cities. The good news is the people are waking up to this. The good news is the people are now finding out this is a diabolical scam. And that's why we just spent an hour on that. Have you been watching the Tim Geithner hearings? It's now over. Henry Paulson being grilled today. Open talk of criminal indictments, of them having to step down, of Bernanke not getting confirmed in the Senate. It goes on and on. So we're going to be breaking that down today as well. Some of the other news I have is the big anthrax cover-up is unraveling. But I want to right now give the toll-free number out for callers to call in on these issues or whatever issues that you wish to discuss. The toll-free number to join us is 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. We will get you up and on the air today. We're going to be taking calls for the next hour and 50 minutes off and on, but please have your question or comment quickly so we can try to get to more people. Problem is callers calling with such important info, I tend